Good evening. I am calling the St. Louis County Council meeting to order Tuesday, May 18th, 2021. It is now 6:30 p.m. Would you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, please call the roll. She cannot hear us. And I am
Madam Chair,
not on
I
mute.
can call the roll.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am. Councilmember Days,
Here.
Councilmember Dunaway,
Present.
Councilmember Fitch,
Here.
Councilmember Webb, Councilmember Clancy,
Here.
Councilmember Tracus, Councilmember Harder.
Present.
Madam Chair, you have a quorum.
Thank you very much. The order of roll call this day will be Harder, Tracus, Clancy, Webb, Fitch, Dunaway, and Days. I would like to get a motion for the approval of the Journal of May 4th, 2021. Is there a second?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries. The May 4th, 2021 Journal is approved. Is there a motion for the Journal of the meeting of May 11th, 2021?
So moved. Second.
Second, Fitch.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries. The May 11th, 2021 Journal is approved. We have no bid openings this evening, so we will move to communications.
Madam Chair,
Oh, sorry.
that's okay. I'm back on.
She's back.
Thank you, Kevin. So Madam Chair, we have no, we have no text compromises this evening, so we will move to zoning matters. Under zoning matters, item number 1, 6th District.
Receive, file, the county council be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation.
So ordered.
Moving on to other communications, item number 1.
Receive, file, and the county council be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation. That will be the same order for item number 2, and that will be the order.
Item number 3.
Receive, file, and the appropriation transfer be approved as requested. Is there a second?
Second. Harder.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries.
Item number 4.
Receive, file, and the appropriation transfer be approved as requested. Is there a second?
Second, Webb.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries.
Item number 5, 6th District.
Receive, file, the change of managing officer be approved as requested.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries.
Item number 6, 6th District.
Receive and file, please.
So ordered.
Item number 7, 3rd District.
Receive, file, the county council be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation.
So ordered.
Item number 8.
Receive, file, and the county council be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation, and that will be the order.
Item number 9, 1st District.
Receive, file, and the county council be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation. The same motion will apply to item number 10, and that will be the order.
Item number 11.
Receive and file. And the same motion for item 12.
So ordered.
Moving to add-ons, Madam Chair, item number 1, 6th District.
Receive, file, the county council be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation. Same motion for item number 2.
So ordered. We are now to the point of our public comments. How many speakers do we have this evening, Madam Clerk?
Madam Chair, we have 6 speakers this evening.
6 speakers. When your name is called, please listen for the clerk, and before you begin speaking, give us your first name, last name, and your zip code. We will give you a few-second warning before your 3 minutes are up. Madam Clerk, please call the first speaker.
Our first speaker this evening is Ann Cashel, followed by Kelly McGowan.
Good evening. My name is Ann Cashel, and my zip code is 63074. I'm speaking on the animal shelter and some issues. A needle and syringe containing sodium pentobarbital is pounded through the chest wall and severs layers of muscle into the dog or cat's heart. Why is the shelter allowed to use the gruesome heart stick method for euthanizing animals? Both of the previous ones, meaning the previous 2 St. Louis County animal shelters over the years, had failed to meet minimum state standards, mainly because cages were too small for large dogs. This is from a news article back in 2011, when the shelter opened in its current location, yet I hear this is happening again, and I ask why. Feces and urine in a dog's water bowl instead of water. Seriously, who thinks that's okay? I want to thank you, Council Chair Days, for holding a hearing on the St. Louis County Animal Shelter. For too many years, the cries of the animals have fallen on deaf ears, so thank you. I'm a former advisory board member, have been a volunteer and longtime animal advocate. I also adopted my adorable little beagle from St. Louis County Animal Shelter. We've been advocating for better conditions for the animals in the shelter and the community for years. Dr. Khan calling us well-meaning but misinformed seems to be deflecting. Deflecting is a psychological defense mechanism that people use to take the blame off of themselves. I urge people to continue being the voice for the animals who can't speak for themselves. Heart stick euthanasia, large dogs in small kennels, feces and urine in a water bowl. There's a lot of work to be done before the shelter can fulfill its mission listed on the website of providing exemplary care for the animals housed at the shelter. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Kelly McGowan, followed by Suzanne Burley.
Okay, my name is Kelly McGowan, and my zip code is 63108. Good evening. I'm speaking as a health equity advocate and the director of Built Environment Advocacy for the entity Evolve, which is an acronym for Elevating Voices of Leaders Vying for Equity. In this role, I work alongside the community, making sure they are included in the processes that shape how their communities are designed. Last summer, this legislative body passed resolutions declaring racism a public health crisis and supporting equitable policies that prioritize the health of all people, especially African Americans. This is a great step in the right direction, but how does this translate into action that truly makes an impact? One pressing issue for North County residents is the overabundance of liquor stores in their communities. This is not unique to North County. Other predominantly Black communities tend to be overrun with liquor stores throughout the country, and is often referred to as liquor lining. This is problematic as high liquor store density is associated with various adverse outcomes, including those related to economic development. We have been told by members of this council that our cause in curbing the proliferation of liquor stores in North County is a noble one. However, we will receive pushback as these establishments generate revenue for communities. Is the revenue generated from these businesses worth the detrimental impact they have on North County residents' well-being? I would like to thank Councilwoman Webb for her willingness to work with Evolve on this important matter. However, it is imperative that the St. Louis County Council ensures liquor store density is monitored and taken into consideration prior to the issuing of new liquor licenses. This is because the overabundance of liquor stores in North County is a racial equity issue. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight and hope we can collaborate to address this important matter.
Thank you, ma'am. Our next speaker is Suzanne Burley, followed by Patty Cantor.
Good evening, County Council.
Well, the data's out. The public won't see these numbers published by Sam Page, but they're out there and they're easy to find. From June 2020 to May 2021, the differing counties have reported COVID cases and death based on percentages by population. As many have been saying all along, Sam Page's restrictive mandates did not make a bit of difference. The difference is we now have the science and the data to back it up. As Dr. Phil says, the best predictor of the future is past behavior, and we are seeing that in full display. Because Sam Page has lost control of so many adults and businesses, are any of us surprised that we are continuing to go after our children? We followed the science through the entire pandemic, but now we're ignoring the science and relying strictly on county Department of Health to tell the kids to keep our to tell the schools to keep our kids masked up. Doesn't make a lot of sense. So my question to Sam Page is, are you flexing to keep control, or are you flexing to kind of provide payback to the group of, I think you called us, loud, selfish parents that wanted our kids to play sports? We're still here. I also wanted to bring attention to the county council about the letter that's in circulation from Dr. Philip Wegenecht. It's in response to the hearing that was held with Faisal Khan concerning St. Louis Animal Care and Control. As you know, he's the vet that's currently contracted for the services at Animal Care and Control. The St. Louis Post-Dispatch is sharing this letter to the public, and of major concern to me is the tone of the language that's being used in the letter from this contracted vet. His word specifically is, there is a very small area of St. Louis County responsible for the most dangerous and unadoptable dogs at the shelter. Now, although he does not specify the area in his letter, I think it's pretty obvious, and many have said that it's very racially motivated. So he's using his very public platform in a very negative manner. He also has stated that the euthanasia rate is too low, and that Faisal Khan should not waste any further time answering complaints regarding the shelter. He goes on to display his arrogance by insulting all St. Louis County residents by calling us misinformed and disgruntled. It's no surprise that he wants us out of his way and will do anything to hide the dirty secrets that are going on at Animal Control. In addition, the shelter is seeking further funding for food. I suggest the council look further into this. Purina did not pull the contract from the shelter based on the reasons that are being given, which is due to the pandemic. The Purina verified that they pull contracts based on lack of paperwork. So the shelter did not provide the paperwork that was necessary to stay in the free donation program for food. And the taxpayers should not have to come up with more money because the shelter was not able to fill out some paperwork. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Patty Cantor, followed by Jason Moore.
Okay, thank you. A wise man that has to listen to me complain about Sam Page quite frequently told me a few weeks ago, Sam Page has no pandemic exit strategy. Sam has no idea how to get out of the mandate that he put into effect. Sam doubled down from the beginning and didn't really listen to what was happening in the rest of the state and the country from the beginning. He's on an island and he doesn't know how to get off, is what he told me. He has no statistics or facts he can give to explain when he will end the lockdown. So Sam simply had no idea what his exit point was. That was proven to be true last week when Sam went from 50% to 100% in one day. No gradual anything. He saw an opportunity to get out of the mess he had made and he grabbed it. Next time, Sam, you might want to develop an exit strategy if that's not asking too much of you. And on another topic, I read Sam's response to Councilman Harder concerning his moonlighting at his second job at Mercy, even though our county executive is to have only one job, the job of county executive. It looked like you were going to take the high road at first, Sam, but the next thing we knew, in your true Democratic fashion, you became demeaning with the person you stated that you wanted to work with. You insinuated all Republicans are Trumpers in an extremely negative way, and that's nothing different than calling you and your Democratic Party a bunch of baby killers. It certainly does not apply to all Democrats or Republicans. You also referenced your saving lives by your approach to the pandemic. Sam, why don't you, I can't hardly see that, the number, the countdown. Sam, why don't you provide the statistics to prove your claim? You're not able to provide them because, in fact, our surrounding counties fared just as well, if not better than St. Louis County, without the draconian lockdown that you mandated. Sam Page, you stumbled through the pandemic. The statistics prove the truth. St. Louis County had 0.2% deaths, and St. Charles County had 0.1% deaths. Sam, let me explain that to you. Your mandate that ruined the lives and livelihoods of so many people didn't work as well as St. Charles County. And they never had a mask mandate, and they didn't shut down their business. And those are the facts, Sam. You don't have to like them, but it's the truth. I know you won't, but I sure wish you would resign due to your incompetence.
Ma'am, that's
Everyone
3
else-
minutes. Please wrap up.
This evening.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Jason Moore, followed by Renee Artman.
Good evening, everybody. Jason Moore, 63021. Hope everybody's doing well today in this crummy weather that St. Louis has. So just backing up the previous callers in regards to Mr. Page. Now with the advent that we have got HB 271 on the way to hopefully get signed by Governor Parson here in the next day or so, sooner rather than later, that will officially end Sam Page's reign of tyranny over the county. That brings us to the point that this entire year has been spent on needless and sanctimonious lawlessness by our county executive and certain members of this county council. With the Missouri Attorney General lawsuit against Page and the county, an ethics probe by the county council against Page, attempts for the county counselor's office to increase the staffing of their attorneys because they can't keep up because of the constant lawlessness being inflicted on the county government. It's just too much. Now, how many tens or hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars have been wasted on our dime, on our wallets, funding this lawlessness? It is time to stop. With everything that has occurred and the obvious failures of this leadership in the county executive's office, it's time. I don't request Sam Page to resign. I demand it, and I hope more people start speaking up to this. We're now a national story, and it's so needless. We're the only county in this state that has done this. We have kids that have committed suicide in our school districts, and it's your fault. It is absolutely 100% your fault. And we are taking the new guidance from the CDC, and we are demanding of our school districts to end the mask mandates once and for all, because kids aren't the carriers. The kids are not getting sick, except mentally. All of this needs to stop, and it needs to stop immediately. It should have stopped 12 months ago. And yet here we are again. So I will work wherever I have to work to gain more of a foothold and get more people engaged to demand Sam Page's resignation. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a wondrous evening. Looking forward to seeing you guys in person. Thank you.
Thank you. Our final speaker this evening is Renee Artman.
I'm here to express my concerns on the Mark Harder addressing the inquiry of Dr. Page's employment at one of our local hospitals. Dr. Page, it is my belief that Councilman Harder has brought up this issue because many of the constituents have asked this question. I know I have questioned it after reading the charter. The charter states something like this: in the order that the county executive shall be available to attend all county business. The key word here is shall, meaning must be. In January, Consul Beth Arwick used that argument to defend Rochelle Walton Gray. Another point I find quite disturbing is personally criticizing Councilman Harder of Trump-inspired state of rancor and divisiveness. I now understand why some members of the council call their colleagues bullies and fools. They are following your example. By making the statement about Trump inspiring divisiveness, you have insulted many county citizens, and I do believe an apology is in order, but I'm not expecting that to happen. For the past 16 months, Dr. Page, you have spoken nothing but of the pandemic and what you are trying to accomplish. I have a daughter who teaches nursing at St. Louis University. She and her nursing students have conducted COVID testing and vaccine clinics. To date, they have performed over 15,000 COVID tests and administered 13,000 injections. This is helping the university community, and they are not expecting anything in return, just to be helping the community. When you were elected as county exec after Steve Stanger's resignation, I was in the chamber that night. There was a sense of excitement and hope. My, how things have changed. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Madam Chair, that is all the speakers.
I did get a message from a constituent that said they tried to sign up and was not able to get on. Are you aware of that, Chris? Okay. Well, hopefully we
No,
won't have
ma'am.
that probably too long.
Yeah, I was not aware of
sorry?
that. Usually people will email or reach out if they're having problems in advance.
Okay, moving on to the report of the county executive.
On Friday, after the CDC updated its guidance on mask wearing for those who are fully vaccinated, St. Louis County and St. Louis City joined other communities across the country in changing its public health orders. In most cases, fully vaccinated people no longer need to wear masks. However, it's strongly recommended that those who have still not been vaccinated continue to wear masks. In St. Louis County, the majority of our residents still have not been vaccinated. Statewide, 2/3 have not yet been vaccinated. And getting vaccinated means all activities are safer. Wherever you go, you are safer, as are those around you, if you get the vaccine. If you still want to wear a mask until more people are vaccinated, please do. Not everyone feels safe tossing the mask just yet. And there are places where they should still be worn, on buses and trains, at airports, in hospitals and in nursing homes, and places where it is crowded and difficult to keep your distance from others. As we continue working to help more people get vaccinated, we also want to remind people the importance of getting tested. We set up testing sites early in North County where the pandemic hit early and hard, and expanded testing throughout the county as access to testing supplies improved. Today in St. Louis County, more than 1 million COVID-19 tests have been administered. That demonstrates the commitment by our community to help fight this virus. We knew early on that investing in tests was a way to measure the spread of this virus and to help get people quarantined or connected to the medical assistance they needed. Testing continues to be important. Anyone who thinks they have been exposed to someone with COVID-19 or who has the symptoms of the virus should get tested. One of the highlights and honors of being county executive is getting to know the employees who keep things running day in and day out. We've asked department heads to help us highlight the dedication of our employees so the public knows who is behind all of the hard work. We've started an employee spotlight on social media, and this week we're featuring Amy Phillips, dispatch supervisor for the Department of Transportation and Public Works. Amy's worked for the county for 9 years, and in the words of her department head, Stephanie Lee Streeter, Amy is tremendously helpful and courteous to the public. She engages frequently with the community, and we get many compliments on her support of our residents through her excellent service. It's fitting to spotlight Amy during National Public Works Week, a time to celebrate the work of our often unsung heroes in the Department of Transportation and Public Works. Finally, I'd like to congratulate Edna Dooley, who was recently recognized as the 2020 Volunteer of the Year for St. Louis County Parks. Edna has been a Parks History volunteer for more than 20 years, leading public education programs at Faust Park, Fort Bellefontaine, General Daniel Bissell House, and Jefferson Barracks. A video of Edna is featured on the St. Louis County's Facebook page. I encourage you all to view it, share it, and send congratulations to Edna for her service. That's all for now. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Moving on to introduction of bills.
Proceeding with introduction, Madam Chair. Bill number 142, introduced by Councilmember Days. An ordinance amending ordinance number 27,853 pertaining to a PY20 Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, WIOA, National Dislocated Workers Grant, WIA National Emergency Grant, from the Missouri Department of Higher Education and Workforce Development, Office of Workforce Development. Bill number 143, introduced by Councilmember Tracus, ordinance appropriating and setting apart the amount of $394,832 from the unappropriated balance of the general fund for support of 7 additional attorney positions in the Office of the County Counselor. Madam Chair, that is all the bills.
Moving on to perfection.
Bill number 20, introduced by Councilmember Harder.
Please hold Bill number 20.
Bill number 20 is held.
Bill number 32, introduced by Councilmember Tracus.
Move to hold Bill number 32, please.
Bill number 32 is held.
Bill number 266, introduced by Councilmembers Fitch and Harder.
I move to hold Bill 266.
Bill 266 is held.
Bill number 267, introduced by Councilmembers Fitch and Harder.
I move to hold Bill 267.
Bill 267 is held.
Bill number 75, introduced by Councilmember Dunaway.
I move to hold Bill number 75.
Bill number 75 is held.
Substitute Bill number 1 for Bill number 77, introduced by Councilmember Clancy.
I move to hold substitute Bill number 1 for Bill number 77.
Substitute Bill number 1 for Bill number 77 is held.
Bill number 88, introduced by Councilmember Clancy.
I move to hold Bill number 88.
Bill number 88 is held.
Bill number 131, introduced by Councilmember Clancy.
I move to hold Bill number 131.
Bill number 131 is held.
Bill number 132, introduced by Councilmember Days.
I move to perfect Bill number 132. Is there a second?
Second, Harder.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Motion carries. Bill number 132 is perfected.
Bill number 133, introduced by Councilmember Days.
I move to perfect Bill number 133. Is there a second?
Second, Harder.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Those opposed, no. Motion carries. Bill number 133 is perfected.
Bill number 134, introduced by Councilmember Tracus.
Move to perfect Bill number 134.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries. Bill number 134 is perfected.
Bill number 135, introduced by Councilmember Days.
I move to perfect Bill number 135. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Those opposed, no. Motion carries. Bill number 135 is perfected.
Bill number 136, introduced by Councilmember Days.
I move to perfect Bill number 136. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries. Bill number 136 is perfected.
Bill number 137, introduced by Councilmember Clancy.
I move to perfect Bill number 137.
Is there a second?
Second.
Dunaway.
Harder. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries. Bill number 137 is perfected.
Bill number 138, introduced by Councilmember Clancy.
I move to perfect Bill number 138.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries. Bill number 138 is perfected.
Madam Chair, can I remind the council members to say their name because there were 3 people that time?
Okay,
Will
sorry.
you make a second, please?
Okay, guys, remember when you second, say your name.
Thank you. Bill number
Thank you.
139, introduced by Councilmember Days.
I move to hold Bill number 139. Bill number 139 is held.
Bill number 141, introduced by Councilmember Fitch for Councilmember Harder.
I move to perfect Bill number 141.
Is there a second?
Second, Fitch.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries. Bill number 141 is perfected. Moving on to final passage.
Bill number 320, introduced by Councilmember Clancy.
I move to hold Bill number 320.
Bill number 320 is held.
Bill number 14, introduced by Councilmembers Tracus, Days, Dunaway, Fitch, Walton Gray, Clancy, and Harder.
I move to hold Bill number 14, please.
Bill number 14 is held.
Substitute Bill number 1 for Bill number 76, introduced by Councilmembers Dunaway and Harder.
I move to hold substitute Bill number 1 for Bill number 76.
Substitute Bill number 1 for Bill number 76 is held.
Bill number 220, introduced by Councilmember Tracus.
Move to hold Bill number 220, please.
Bill number 220 is held.
Bill number 124, introduced by Councilmember Days.
I move for final passage of Bill number 124. Is there a second?
Second, Harder.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Harder.
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus.
Aye.
Councilmember Clancy.
Aye.
Councilmember Webb.
Aye.
Councilmember Fitch.
Aye.
Councilmember Dunaway.
Aye.
Councilmember Days.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on Bill number 124, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 124 is finally passed.
Bill number 125, introduced by Councilmember Days.
I move for final passage of Bill number 125. Is there a second?
Second, Harder.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Harder.
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus.
Aye.
Councilmember Clancy.
Aye.
Councilmember Webb.
Aye.
Councilmember Fitch.
Aye.
Councilmember Dunaway.
Aye.
Councilmember Days.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on Bill number 125, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 125 is finally passed.
Bill number 126, introduced by Councilmember Days.
I move for final passage of Bill number 126. Is there a second?
Second, Harder.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Harder.
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus.
Aye.
Councilmember Clancy.
Aye.
Councilmember Webb.
Aye.
Councilmember Fitch.
Aye.
Councilmember Dunaway.
Aye.
Councilmember Days.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on Bill number 126, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 126 is finally passed.
Bill number 127, introduced by Councilmembers Days and Webb.
I move for final passage of Bill number 127. Is there a second?
Second, Webb.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Harder.
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus.
Aye.
Councilmember Clancy.
Aye.
Councilmember Webb.
Aye.
Councilmember Fitch.
Aye.
Councilmember Dunaway.
Aye.
Councilmember Days.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on Bill number 127, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 127 is finally passed.
Bill number 128, introduced by Councilmembers Days, Dunaway, and Clancy.
I move for final passage of Bill number 128. Is there a second?
Second, Clancy.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Harder.
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus.
Aye.
Councilmember Clancy.
Aye.
Councilmember Webb.
Aye.
Councilmember Fitch.
Aye.
Councilmember Dunaway.
Aye.
Councilmember Days.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on Bill number 128, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 128 is finally passed.
Bill number 129, introduced by Councilmember Tracus.
Move for final passage of Bill number 129,
Is
please.
there a second?
Second, Harder.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Harder.
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus.
Aye.
Councilmember Clancy. Councilmember Clancy.
Aye, sorry.
Thank you. Councilmember Webb.
Aye.
Councilmember Fitch.
Aye.
Councilmember Dunaway.
Abstain.
Councilmember Days.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on Bill number 129, there are 6 ayes and 1 abstention.
Bill number 129 is finally passed.
Bill number 130, introduced by Councilmember Tracus.
Move for final passage of Bill number 130, please.
Is there a second?
Second. Fitch.
Sorry. Thank
Second, Fitch. Roll call, please.
you. Councilmember Harder.
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus.
Aye.
Councilmember Clancy.
Aye.
Councilmember Webb.
Aye.
Councilmember Fitch.
Aye.
Councilmember Dunaway.
Abstain.
Councilmember Days.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on Bill number 130, there are 6 ayes and 1 abstention.
Bill number 130 is finally passed.
Bill number 140, introduced by Councilmember Days.
I move for final passage of Bill number 140.
Madam Chair.
Second, Tracus.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Hold on. This bill has not been on the agenda for 14 days, and we will require 7 members to take it up for final passage.
Yes, so we need a motion to take it up and then the motion to finally pass if we have 7 members that agree to take it up.
So there's a motion to take up Bill number 140. Do we need a roll
Second.
call on that one? Roll call, please.
You don't need a roll call if you have,
Beth shook her head that we needed a roll call. So let's do the roll call.
okay. That was a second by Councilman Tracus, I believe.
Yes, it
Yes.
was.
Thank you. Councilmember Harder.
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus.
Aye.
Councilmember Clancy.
Aye.
Councilmember Webb.
Aye.
Councilmember Fitch.
Aye.
Councilmember Dunaway.
Aye.
Councilmember Days.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on the motion to take up Bill number 140 on the final passage order of business, there are 7 ayes.
Motion carries. Now we will move for final passage. Is that correct?
That is correct, Madam
We'll
Chair.
move for final passage of Bill number 140.
Second,
Is there a
Tracus.
second? Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Harder,
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus,
Aye.
Councilmember Clancy,
Aye.
Councilmember Webb,
Aye.
Councilmember Fitch,
Aye.
Councilmember Dunaway,
Aye.
Councilmember Days.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on Bill number 140, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 140 is finally passed. Moving on to resolutions.
Oh, Madam Chair, we don't have any resolutions this evening. Excuse me.
Okay, moving on to unfinished business.
Item number 1.
Councilman Fitch. I haven't made a motion yet, but
Well, I'm sorry. I just wanted to make a comment before we made any motions. Is
all
that
right.
okay?
Yes.
This is the approval for Dr. Faisal Khan to be the director of the Department of Public Health. I think we had a robust discussion on Friday with Dr. Khan. And one of the things that he said is that he wanted to put together, within 90 days, a transformational plan to overhaul the animal care and control situation that we've all been dealing with. I know I have for the last 2.5 years. I know most of us have. So what I wanted to suggest, and I'll even make a motion to that, is that we hold off on confirming Dr. Khan until we see this plan and agree that the plan is worth moving forward on. The other thing that I'll bring out, and I don't know if everybody got a chance to see the opinion from the county counselor's office, but if for some reason we would decline his nomination and turn him down, he could still serve as the acting director as long as the county executive would have him in that role. Not really sure what the confirmation process does, but it does allow, if we turn him down, for him to stay anyway. So that would be my motion, is that we take this up in 90 days or less, depending on when we see the plan from Dr. Khan, and then vote then.
Council, just a second. So actually, I have to make the motion, I believe. Is that correct, Beth? Hello?
I'm thinking that we need to just hold it on the order of business.
All right, we can do that then. We'll hold that on the order of business. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, moving on to item number 2.
The appointment of Dr. Beth Hubner be approved as requested for Justice Services Advisory Board. Is there a second?
Second, Clancy.
In favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries. Dr. Hubner is now a member of the Justice Services Advisory Board.
Moving on to item number 3.
The appointment of Bishop Lawrence Wooten for the Housing Resources Commission be approved as requested. Is there a second?
Second, Tracus.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries.
Item number 4.
The appointment of Mr. Brian Ashworth to the St. Louis County Board of Police Commissioners be approved as requested. Is there a second?
Second, Tracus.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries.
Item number 5, 7th District.
Please hold on the order of business and this, please hold on the order of business. Thank you.
So ordered.
Item number 6, 2nd District.
Please drop from the order of business.
So ordered.
Item number 7.
Hold on the order of business, and that will be the order.
Item number 8.
Hold on the order of business and refer to a committee of the whole, and that will be the order.
I think this has already been referred to the committee of the whole. Thank you, Madam Chair.
These appointments to the PACE board have not been before the county as a whole.
No, but they were referred to the committee of the whole. We're just waiting for a meeting.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. My mistake.
You're welcome. No problem. Item number 9, 6th District.
The new liquor license be approved as requested, please.
Is there a second?
Second, Fitch.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries.
Item number 10.
Hold on the order of business, and that will be the order. Any new?
Madam Chair?
Yes, do we have any orders this evening?
Before we move on to new business, Chris did realize that he skipped someone that had signed up to speak in time. Is there any way that we could allow the speaker to, if she is still on, would you want to allow her?
There is no objection from the council. We will move forward and hear that speaker. Thank you.
Our speaker is Donna Slemmer. Ms. Slemmer?
Thank you.
We're so sorry we missed you. Please proceed.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me back on, everyone. I was, I'm the complainer, as I was called, as we were called, but I appreciate you letting me come through anyway. Wondering if you stopped to wonder why you haven't heard from any staff or volunteers from St. Louis County Animal Control saying our accusations about this management team are wrong. Of course, management is going to say we're lying. That's a given. And Khan and Wagner like to call us complainers. The truth always hurts those with something to hide. But staff and volunteers far outnumber management, and staff and volunteers are well aware of us speaking out, yet you don't hear from them. If we were wrong, surely they'd call in to deny our claims. Heck, they'd even get kudos from the management team for doing so. But you don't hear from them. We are their voice. We speak for the staff and volunteers because they don't want to lose their jobs, not because it pays well. And of course, volunteers aren't paid at all. Staff is paid a meager wage. They're there because they care about those animals. So where are they when we are speaking badly about their management team? Let me tell you where they are. They are listening. They are cheering us on. They are with us in spirit, and they are glad someone is speaking for them and the animals. Now we just need someone to listen. Will you please start listening as a whole and come together to do something? Thank you, Fitch, Mr. Fitch, for of course, we would like to see Dr. Khan removed, but we will talk about that. But now has stopped the food donation to county because management failed to complete the paperwork required to continue the donation. How much more incompetent can you get? Someone should lose their job over that huge failure. Council, if you haven't seen Dr. Wangenet's letter to Post-Dispatch, I urge you to find it and read it. This is the mentality those poor animals have to deal with. In his letter, he might as well said he wants to kill more animals. A vet that spends 6 hours a week in the shelter and evaluates dogs by standing at their kennel and staring at them. This man is deranged, and county needs to end his contract immediately. The animals deserve better. The taxpayers deserve better. Please start taking this serious. Sam Page, we need your attention in this matter. We need action. Again, I want to thank my councilwoman, Ms. Days, whom I truly admire and respect, and also Ms. Webb for listening and always acknowledging concerned citizens. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
And thank you, Donna. We do apologize for that mistake. And thank you, Chris, for catching that before the end of the meeting. Moving on to orders, please. I think we have the new business.
Yes, Madam Chair, we have one prepared order this evening in the matter of donation of a bronze sculpture of a dog.
I move for adoption of order number 1.
Is there a second?
Second, Fitch.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries. Order number 1 is adopted. We're at the end of the meeting now. Any announcements or anything for the greater good? Councilwoman Webb?
Good evening, everyone. So I just want to come on and say thank you for all of the St. Louis County District 4 family and friends who came out on this past Saturday to help us clean up. We had over 93 volunteers. We picked up over 100 bags of trash. And I have to put a shout out to the council members that showed up, Councilman Fitch and Councilwoman Clancy, both Carrie and too. She came in and she helped out. I just want you all to know I greatly appreciate it. But not only my colleagues on the council, but members of the county council's office came out and picked up trash. Miss Beth and Miss Jean, and I hate that I'm going to miss someone's name, but they all were there to support. And then, in addition to that, I just have to take time out to this was not a one-person show. This was the passion and heartfelt cry of a whole district. And so we had volunteers, the St. Louis Urban League. Mr. McMillan provided us with water and hand sanitizer and worked with Gretchen and her staff to bring all that together and snacks. We also had the St. Louis County Police Department doing some extra patrol to make sure we were safe because we was like right by the interstates. And so I greatly appreciate Captain Cunningham and Officer Wheatley and others who helped patrol the area. And then the Missouri Department of Transportation, Ms. Bethany Williams, who gave me all the very best and had her staff, maintenance staff, out on Saturday in white vans, making sure we had extra supplies. So as you can see, as I'm saying thank you, it was a community effort, and I'm so grateful. Grateful to the Old Jamestown Association, grateful to Evolve and St. Louis Metro Realtors, grateful to the PAL program and its youth. The officer of the PAL program came out and brought youth with him to volunteer. So District 4 North County, we care, and we're coming together to make sure that we give you better service. And so keep partnering with us as we continue to fight for the future of North County. Also, Madam Chair, I want to make 2 announcements about upcoming meeting. On May 27th, District 4 will have a town hall meeting. This town hall meeting will be contingent upon the Port Authority's announcement this Thursday of their decision for the developer for Jamestown Mall. The following Thursday, May 27th, the community will have an opportunity to come together and discuss and have a conversation with the developer. In addition, we will also have on May 28th at 3 p.m. Justice, Health, and Welfare Committee meeting, closed session for the animal care and control. So lots of activity coming up. I want everybody to know that we hear you, and we don't just hear you, we're listening to you to impact change. So thank you, Madam Chair.
And thank you for your excitement. Anyone else with any Councilwoman Clancy?
Yeah, thank you, Councilwoman Webb, for putting on a great event on Saturday. I really enjoyed attending and working alongside you and some of my colleagues, but also getting to know some people from your part of the county. So thank you again for the warm invite. I wanted to share also that I've shared this out in my newsletter, but I am having another town hall in collaboration with State Representative Michael Burton on Thursday evening at the Afton Elks Lodge at 6 p.m. The purpose of the town hall is to talk with residents in Afton, particularly the ones who lived closest to the recent Manor chemical fire, just to answer any outstanding questions and concerns residents have, allow them the opportunity to hear from some of the folks that were involved in responding to that fire, and to learn a little bit more about the impact of that fire. We'll be talking about other issues in the Afton community as well, but that is at 6 p.m. on Thursday night at the Afton Elks.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? Councilman Fitch.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just something to bring to the council's attention. I had a conversation today with Sheriff Scott Kiefer from St. Louis County. He's the person responsible for doing evictions in St. Louis County. As you know, we had a robust discussion over Bill 111 and it passed in April with 2 dissenting and 1 abstention. That bill was supposed to stop evictions in St. Louis County at least till June 30th, unless extended by the council. Sheriff Kiefer said, by the way, this bill took effect 15 days after the county executive signed it. So it took effect on May 13th. So I asked him if he's done any evictions in St. Louis County since May 13th, and he said, yes, 39. So they've done 39 evictions. Now, one of the arguments that we had when this bill was passed is that it wasn't enforceable, that we couldn't tell a judge that he could not issue a order of an eviction, and I didn't believe we had the authority to tell the sheriff to not follow that judge's order. So I think a lot of us thought that when this bill passed that it would stop evictions, and it has not. There's 39 that's happened since this ordinance went into effect. So I just wanted the council to be aware of that, and for whatever it's worth to you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Councilman Harder. Okay, just a second. Councilman Harder.
No, go ahead. But Councilman Clancy, please.
Are you yielding to Councilwoman Clancy? Excuse
Yes.
me. Are you, thank you. Councilwoman Clancy?
Yeah, I just had a follow-up question to that for Councilman Fitch. I want to make sure I heard you correctly. You said that he has carried out 39 evictions, or his office has carried out 39 evictions since the bill was passed or since the bill was signed?
No, since the bill went into effect. It went into effect on May the 13th. He's done
Correct.
39 since then. I didn't ask how many were done prior to that, but with the ordinance in effect, he's done 39.
Yes, yes. We had an emergency clause, but because we did not have the votes needed to put the emergency clause into effect, it had to wait till the 15th.
I actually have the bill in front of me. It was adopted by this council on the 27th of April, approved on the 28th by the county executive, so 15 days later is the 13th.
Well, and did you ask him why he thinks this is? That
I
they're
just
still
asked him.
carrying out evictions?
I just asked him the question if they've done any. I have not followed up with him.
Okay, so you did not ask him why he thinks that they're still carrying them out?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Councilman Harder?
Yes, just want to give an update. To date, we have 5 resumes, applications in hand for the new auditor position. The deadline for those expired on the 17th, and I'd like, if I could, extend that at least till the end of May, another 10 days or so to gather some more resumes before we can start the interview process. And I just want to maybe get some input if we want to extend that time to collect a few more resumes if they happen to be out there. Just want to get some ideas there if anybody wants to give me the input.
What is the pleasure of this council? Would you like to extend the application deadline for auditor?
I think it's probably a good idea if we only have 5 so far. That's a pretty low number.
Does anyone disagree with that? And I think you're safe to say, you disagree, Councilwoman Webb?
No, Madam Chair, I had a question.
Okay. Beth?
Hi, I don't think that this is on the agenda, and I think that it would not, I don't know if you're preparing to do a vote or if you're just bringing this up for discussion, but it's not on the agenda, so I think that should be something that could be properly put on a different agenda.
As comments for the good of the order, he's making that suggestion and asking if we have any response to that. So, yeah, I thank you for that. So I think Councilman Harder, I don't see anyone that objects to that. So.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and extend it.
Tracus?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Councilman Fitch, judging by your last statement, I take it you can't tell us whether or not the people that were evicted were covered persons under the ordinance, meaning that the protections apply to them as opposed to not applying to them.
Councilman Fitch?
Thank you. Councilman Tracus, I was going off of section 1. No landlord, owner, or of a residential property or other person with an otherwise legal right to pursue eviction or possessory action shall evict or cause to be evicted any covered person currently residing in any residential property in St. Louis County. So we did talk about the CDC forms. accepted the CDC forms since before the ordinance ever went into effect to stop.
My question was whether or not you discussed with the sheriff if he evicted any covered persons under the ordinance or not. And if not, we need to follow up with it.
Wouldn't be covered.
Covered under the terms of the ordinance. Because the ordinance clearly provided for the ability to evict people that were not covered, or were not properly protected.
Okay, so I guess what you're going to have to ask him, if you want to know that, is what counted as properly covered or properly evicted. I asked a simple question: is since the ordinance went into effect, has anyone been evicted? And the answer is yes, 39.
I don't know that tells us anything other than that 39 evictions were carried out. They may well have been people not covered by the ordinance, but I'll follow up with the sheriff. Thank you.
You're on mute, Madam Chair.
I'm sorry. So right now we are looking for those citizens who are waiting with bated breath for us to come back into the chamber. We are scheduled to go back into the chamber on June 1. So far, everything is working to accomplish that goal. I know you will be happy, and many of the constituents will be, so because they don't have to worry about being cut off and not being heard. So that is a wonderful thing for the most of us, if you will. I've said to several people, it's a lot easier for me to see everybody from a screen than it will be to turn my head from the dais. But this is what the people want. This is what they've asked for. And so hopefully June 1, that will be the date. The other thing is that some of you do contact me if there are questions on the agenda. Please feel free to do that. If there's a question that you have my number. Contact me either way. If you have questions about that, I just wanted to make sure most of you are aware of that, but I just wanted to reiterate that if there is something on the agenda that you have questions about, feel free. Anything else for the good of the order? Seeing none, I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second, Fitch.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion adjourned. Stay dry and stay safe. Good night.